Hey, welcome back everybody to another hype playoff match here for Nemesis. We're going to be headed over to the Challenger League. We're going to see Drakes and Dissolved face off in all the 5-6 matchups tonight. And I'm joined here with Chipmunk.
What's up?
That was very underwhelming, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what to say and I just couldn't think of anything.
That's okay. I almost couldn't say anything because I was getting dogged down by Ritz peanut butter crackers. But I almost ate the last one in time. I've been instructed not to eat the last cracker because, quote, the last clip was playing. But anyways, on to more important things. If anybody missed it, we just saw the Wisps take down Genesis in a dominating 4-0 sweep. And the first match went to a hype game 7, so hopefully we'll get something more in between, or maybe another game 7 on this matchup here, Chipmunk.
Yeah, that game 7 was nuts. I'm a AGM of the Vipers, so I was like screaming that whole time.
Yeah, definitely, it was close. And right here, I just mentioned a little bit earlier, but we got Drakes and Dissolved. All the matches tonight, the 5-6 seeds facing off. And on the rest of the brackets, you can see on screen, we got Flames and Race in the 3-4 matchup, and then we got Motion and Ascension, the big boys, up in the semifinals. But we're gonna have to wait a little bit to play those matches. But right now, you got any lingering thoughts, predictions before we get on into this one?
I just can't wait to see Logie on the field again. He's been gone all season since season 3, and he was a really good player in season 3, and I can't wait to see him play again.
Yeah, definitely. Returning season champion from season 3, the only remaining player on the Drakes from that season 3 roster, as Biscuit moved on up to Hydra, and we don't talk about the other person. um, but on the other side, we do have a contending roster as well. KN moving up to Challenger. He finally escaped Prospect League, and he's wormed his way in the playoffs here. And he could compete with Slimy and Wolf on his team against these boys, but I honestly think it could be close. And I think I have Dissolved edging out the Drakes here. But as we get on into this, the Drakes are gonna start off quick, as Disarray on the Dissolved side is gonna lead to an early goal.
That's a great shot there by Ray. Sorry, I had to mute for a second. My dad just came downstairs. It happens.
It's not the crackers, it's gonna be your dad slamming doors. But again, early pressure coming off this kickoff from Drakes. Dizzy unable to find the backboard read. Setting it up there one more time is Ray. And Dissolved, it's only been 30 seconds, but they're looking like they're getting completely overwhelmed by this Drakes roster at the moment. Back into this corner. Ray bumping all the players off the ball. Dizzy can't find contact, but Logie has the open net to work with. And Dissolved are, I mean, I guess you could say they're getting dissolved.
Yeah, Dissolved. They're breaking down right now. They just send a pass straight out to Logie, and Logie able to find the shot.
Yeah, and Logie, he hasn't played all season, and what time to show up right there. I mean, all he had to do was hit the open net, but either way, an important series to start playing in and shake a little bit of that rust off. But he was a key player for them in that season 3 playoff run. In fact, just the regular season, completely undefeated, 16-0. As another big flick, Dizzy and Logie combining, missing the open net, and Ray can't find the shot either. Let's see if Dissolved can maybe counterattack here, but once again, Dissolved stuck in their half in their own box. So they're trying to work their way out now. KN beating out one defender. As Ray missing off the back wall. Wolf up, putting the shot on. This time Dissolved has an open net to work with, but Dizzy racing in the final seconds there. Wolf can't find contact, and 2 big opportunities gone awry there for Dissolved.
It's just a fantastic save there by Dizzy, and now he's trying to send it back mid, and Drakes just have all the pressure right now.
Yeah, they're just styling. They're just going for everything. And Dissolved can't get out of their half. KN getting demoed. Logie actually had another semi-open net to work with, but Ray almost dunking his way through the entire defense. And I'm not entirely sure of the
Oh,
last result of this match, but I'm pretty sure Dissolved ended up winning. And we actually did forget to mention this, but Logi is going to be replacing Kiwi here, as Kiwi is unable to play in the playoffs, but not a bad person to be replacing Kiwi with.
yeah, definitely.
As once again, the story of this game one has been the Drakes living in this dissolved half, and more panic, more double commits coming out. Dizzy sending it back to the middle, but only to KN, who will send it right back. Maybe another opportunity, but no one quite there for Dissolved as a quick counterattack on the opposite side. It's going to leave the net somewhat vulnerable. But KN charging in, shutting that opportunity down before it became too dangerous. And KN, I believe, has been demoed for the third time here at Chipmunk. And it just doesn't seem like they can do anything.
Yeah, dissolved right now. Oh, and they finally found a shot on the net, and that's gonna be a 1-goal game now.
Yeah, Dissolved haven't found any shots really in this game, putting the third one on, and it was going just off the post there. Still a good shot, but yeah, got a lot of time left to work with here, 2 minutes, but Drakes are absolutely dominating in the shot department at the moment. They're already sitting at 9 shots.
Yeah, just to dissolve's 3 shots. That's a giant difference there.
Well, they did just get a fourth right there, but maybe starting to feel a little bit more confident. But it mainly seems like so far that Dissolved are kind of beating themselves. They're so close to each other on
Oh
defense,
my.
and yeah, that was an interesting touch. Maybe might be able to capitalize on it as KN. He's gonna dunk it in, almost as Dizzy sends it away. But it seems like Dissolved are beating themselves. It just looks like their rotation and positioning isn't up to snuff, and Drakes are just playing the aggro strat at the moment.
Yeah, they started off in shambles. It was a mauled fest, and but but they're doing better now. Now I say that, Logie almost gets a goal right there.
That was almost an insane passing play and threading of the needle. And they would have loved to have that insurance goal, but either way, they will be remaining on offense for now. Ray taking to the dribble. The Can shutting it down early. And Dizzy is last man. Getting somewhat dunked out. Wolf there for the shot, but can't put it on target. Logie there either way. Sending it away. Can cutting this one off in the midfield. Popping it over one. Logie trying to race back, and he gets another crazy save. That's 2 for the Drakes now. Almost getting counterattacked on the other end. As Slimy's going to put this one in the open net, they are able to survive in regulation.
Yeah, now Dissolved has come back from their 2-0 mauled fest deficit, and they're back in this game with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, and I think Logie was maybe asking for some help there in the midfield, or was unsure of where his teammate was, because it almost looked like Logie could have cut that one off and prevented that opportunity. But here he is off the kickoff, trying to make something dangerous happen. Ray looking for the backboard read. Slimy there for the save. Dizzy off the backboard too, but this is going to leave Logie last back. As KN in an awkward spot. Logie here for the shot. Off the backboard, 0 seconds. Where's the
Oh
follow-up?
my.
Dizzy there. And they're just continually putting it off the backboard.
Oh!
Dizzy to the middle.
There
There's
it
Logie.
is!
And he's
Oh!
going to put it. A series of small plays are going to give Drakes the game one victory.
they just kept popping it up, and they finally find a shot, and Loki's gonna send this game 1 to Drake's.
I mean, I think everybody in that sequence hit the balls like sub 15 miles per hour. But, I mean,
They all had rocks in their bag.
the Saccarox
They're
aerials,
sack
but
of rocks.
I mean, either way, an astounding way to end off the first game of the series for Drakes. Logie may have gotten a little bit of help from that dissolved defender. It kind of looked like it may have touched the ground and he ended up own goaling, but still too dangerous of an opportunity not to try and defend. But I mean, going back to the shot totals, Dissolve certainly wormed their way back into the competition there the second half, but still, the Drakes are sitting at 15 shots for that opening game.
Yeah, that was just insane pressure by Drake's, and Dissolve just gonna have to come back, put on some more pressure of their own, and need to stop that Maltfest. They did do a lot better in the back half of game 1, but they still ended up losing because of what they did earlier in the game. So they just need to come back and make it happen.
Yeah, they kind of got a little bit too nervous on defense and didn't have enough conviction in their play. And that's what happened the first 2 minutes, or not even the first 2 minutes, the first 50 seconds. Give up that goal, but
Oh,
for whatever reason, the
well,
Drake's net is open, and they're gonna score first in this one.
yeah. Wolf just flicks it past one, and they're gone. None are net, and it's an open net there for Wolf, and that's just an easy start there for Dissolved.
Yeah, Ray Ray, he technically flicked too, because Ray Ray was hot on his own teammates' coattails for whatever reason. But either way, Dissolved are gonna take that one to the bank, as Kan was looking for the backboard read, but ended up sending it back onto his own half. Ray Ray in the corner looking for some bumps, causing a little bit of disruption. As Wolf blocking that one. Ray Ray looking for some sort of touch here. Dizzy and Ray Ray falling on the ball. And the confident Drakes in that game one are looking a little sus here to start this one, Chipmunk.
Yeah, two players jumping for the ball and both missing, and then Loki just kind of in net waiting for someone to touch the ball so he can bump someone. But nothing happened, and now Dissolved are getting their chance.
Yeah, you know in those situations where you kind of just put your controller down as the third man and you're like, what is
What's
happening?
going on?
And what is happening on this goal? I think the ball just bounced into Loki right here. Or off of somebody. It was an own goal.
Yeah, Loki just sent it on net, and I don't know who it was, but I think it was Slimy who sent it into their own net, and that's just unfortunate.
I think all three Dissolved players were trying to pre-flip to send that one away, but only one of them made contact and he ended up own goaling. But
it happens.
It does happen. And kind of unfortunate considering the way they lost the last game too. And another unfortunate goal to give up to the Drakes as Ray Ray is continuing to just bounce up like a jumping bean. it just keeps jumping for the ball and having second thoughts halfway through his aerial. That's going to leave him last back at the moment, getting beat out. Finds the demo, but can't sneak that one past the final defender. And Logie was looking for the outfield pass over to Ray Ray, but not quick enough to get that one through. Logie snagging his own corner, taking to the dribble, getting it past two, pass to the middle. Ray Ray is going to look to dribble again. Maybe should have gone for the immediate shot right there, Chipmunk.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he was just gonna shoot it, and he just kind of dribbled to the side for no reason right there. He just needs to work on his decision making, because even earlier in this game, he's just jumping and just kind of going down.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe if you were in Titan, maybe if you had a lot of ball control, taking to a dribble would have been a good option right there. But even then, when you're looking at those infield passes, you might just want to go for placement and power rather than trying to get a fake or a slow dribble play, as that might have even allowed the other Dissolved players to get back right there. And now Wolf taking to the dribble, getting a 50 completely through the final defender for Drakes. But another save coming out. Ray Ray up, colliding with another player midair. Dizzy not getting the most solid contact. And I think it's safe to say Ray Ray is the most interesting player on the field at the moment.
Yeah, every time Ray Ray jumps to the ball, I just start laughing because it's just funny.
I mean, he's looking confident most of the time when he's going for these aerials, but every now and then something strange happens like that. But either way, a series of just a battle in the midfield is going to keep this one locked up at 1-1. Ray Ray looking for a fake underneath. As Wolf sending it off to the corner, but heads straight back out to the middle. Logie there for the counter shot. Dissolve doing a good job, other than giving up that mistake in that opening goal. As hold on a second, Kan almost balling out all of the Drake's defense, but it looks like Dissolved are playing much better here in this game one, competing with the Drake's aggressive play style.
Ray Ray is just doing so much right now. By so much, it's just
too much.
Too much. I can't understand this man.
He's an interesting man. As Kan looking for the redirect, wasn't quite on target, but Logie still sending it away. And Power clearing it back to the other half. Wolf with a risky dribble. This is going to allow Dizzy to come in. He's going to go for another dribble. Ray Ray flying towards the net, looking for a bump. And once again, another opportunity that I think Drake should have taken an immediate shot on instead of the dribble.
Yeah, the Drakes, they're trying to find something here, but they're not making the right decisions.
Yeah, they gotta just maybe rethink their strategy and just try banging the ball on the net than going for these more flashy, low percentage plays. But either way, it hasn't hurt them completely yet, as they're still able to keep this one scoreless for the past 3 minutes. It's Wolf to the middle, Slimy there, getting cut off by Ray. Final seconds may belong to Dissolve, but a big clear. We'll send it back onto the Dissolved half can, flicking one. Slimy there, and the 50 will send that one into the ground. And we got overtime for game 2. Have to see if we have any Ray heroics here.
I'm looking for either team here to just find some consistent pressure, because I think Dissolved have 5 shots and Drakes have 4, so it's a really just kind of midfield pressure game right now.
Yeah, it's been a sloppy midfield game. A lot of teams just losing possession, going for dribbles when maybe the infield pass or just the direct shot would be a better option. As here's another battle in the midfield right here. Wolf getting a 50 literally past all 3 people. Ray up early. And he's going to send it in front of his own net. And once again, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm so sorry, but Ray
You just a musty.
He's the most interesting man on the field at the moment, no doubt about it. As 2 players from Dissolved whiff out.
He's dribbling the ball and he decides to musty. What?
He just once again he gave up halfway through the play. He didn't commit to the musty.
He's
midfield.
He's midfield, and the best he's getting is just a musty to like their corner. And he
I'm not quite sure what the thought process was there, yeah. But once again, Ray's interesting playstyle hasn't come back to bite them quite just yet. It's put the Drakes in a lot of awkward situations, but Dizzy and Logie have been able to bail them out for the most part, as a big dunk could leave the net someone open. Slimy trying to turn it in. Actually almost finding a crazy read off the sidewall. Wolf there for the shot, but off the post again. An unfortunate touch from Dizzy will give Dissolved the Game 2 victory.
Yeah, Ray almost had some heroics here with that touch, but Dizzy just kind of sends it straight down for KN, and KN's able to find the shot, and we are now 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, that may have been the best thing Ray's done all game. I mean, I'm not even capping. That was a great block, and it put it straight off the post, but unfortunately, I think Dizzy was going for the squishy save, and on his way out, he ended up dishing it right back in front of the net. And kind of 2 unfortunate ways to end the first 2 games. Dissolved giving up that really heartbreaking 0-second goal with the 10-mile-per-hour small ball passing plays. And that one where it gets dished up in front of their own net, but either way, we're all notched up at 1-1 in the series now.
For how much Ray was like jumping around in the orange half, he had 0 shots.
Yeah, he was trying. Some might say he was trying too much, but
he was doing his best.
I mean, I don't know if what you said early on, Chipmunk. You said you had the Drakes, right? You were kind of believing in Logie.
No, I was gonna make my prediction of like 4-2 Drakes, but then my dad came downstairs, so.
Well, that is unfortunate, but I don't know if anything you've seen in the first 2 games is leaning you one way or the other, but I'm still thinking I'm gonna take Dissolved here. Both teams have been a little inconsistent, but have shown a lot of promise at the same time.
I think since the second half of game 1, Dissolved is a lot more consistent. The only goal they really gave up in that game 2 was off an own goal, I think. So I think their defense is a lot better.
Yeah, and speaking of defense, a great save from Dizzy after an awkward 50. Put that one on the net. And again, Dissolved looking to be the more confident team. Looking for multiple bumps was KN, but nothing resulting of it quite yet. As here's Dizzy off the backboard getting a double, but KN securing it away to the side. Another unfortunate 50 will allow KN to have to race back. Get another good save, and he's having to make another one as his
Here
teammates
comes
aren't even back yet. I mean, Ray might perhaps be the ball chasiest challenger player, and I'm not quite sure if this strategy is going to work against the higher level teams, but at least against Dissolved, it's keeping the Drakes on offense for the most part. But, I mean, more often than not, he's using so much boost to just flail his way towards the ball and kind of putting his teammates in awkward spots, I think.
Yeah, he jumped for that ball there and didn't even make it halfway. He just he jumped and landed on the wall, and that's all he did.
Well, I mean, if anything, it is disrupting Dissolve's understanding of what's happening on the field. As Can, with an unfortunate touch, is going to allow Logie to keep this one in the orange half. But a big clear from Slimy will relieve that pressure. And a good 50 to the middle, but Can opting to fake challenge, which may have been the great play right there. As he takes to another dribble, getting a 50 to keep this one in. And that fake challenge has allowed Dissolve to stay on this offensive half for another 15 seconds. Is Dizzy getting an air dribble to the middle, double committing with Logie. And now Ray comes charging in and getting a shot on as Wolf had to race back to find that save. And another game of just inconsistent play in the midfield right now.
Yeah, there's Ray's first shot in 7 minutes.
It happens. As he will clear this one away. Can blocking it off again. Looking for a follow-up off the ceiling, but couldn't get it. Slimy, big 50 to the side. Is Wolf trying to get it out, but Logie will cut this one off. And again, it just looks like both teams are not in position for their teammates' clears or passes. As Ray getting a good pass off to the side, and KN clearing it away, but double commits galore for Dissolved. But it doesn't matter as they're still able to send it away.
Yeah, Dissolved are now getting a little bit of pressure, but it's just a really back and forth game right here. Still only a total of 5 shots for both teams, and just like last game, it's just kind of the ball stuck in the midfield.
Yeah, and we did see a lot of demo plays early on in this game 3, and nobody's quite gone for a bump play yet as Dizzy goes flying past the ball, but still able to get this one back onto the orange half. Here comes Ray off the sidewall looking for the double, but missing. Works as a pass to Logie. And again trying to follow it up, but ended up getting beat out. And there's the demo from KN again. Wolf looking for the follow-up, but an unfortunate bounce will not allow him to score, but KN will be there for the follow-up.
Yeah, Dissolved here, just send it down the field. Wolf able to get that last touch over Dizzy, and Kane has a free net right there, and that's a bar down. Great shot.
I mean, I wouldn't call it the greatest of shots because it did go bar down, but either way, a goal is a goal, and that is a big one for Dissolved to break another game of just inconsistent midfield play. Here he is again, getting a big 50 off to the side. Slimy almost putting it on, and I think KN actually was looking for a bump, and he got bumped back into the 50, blocking that open net shot. But either way, KN is trying to rack up the aggression plays. But now on the opposite side, Drake's looking to counterattack. Still got 30 seconds to work with here, but Slimy is going to put this one softly into the open net, and that is the insurance goal they needed.
Yeah, it's a great touch mid there by Wolf, just seeing that nobody's going to get up there, and Slimy able to take a shot, and that's a 2-0 lead now. And Dissolved looking to secure this game 3.
Yeah, and I think not only Ray, but maybe even Dizzy as well, both players for this Drake's team are playing very aggressive in the air and going for a lot of high boost and risky aerial challenges. And that's kind of putting the rotation in a rough spot, as both of the 2 goals in this game have resulted from third men having to race back or the net being just completely open. And I think the playstyle is finally starting to bite him in the butt. As final seconds roll down, maybe the Drake's looking for some sort of consolation goal, but this one will touch the ground. And now Dissolved winning the last 2 will be up in the series 2-1.
I think Dissolved are just the more consistent team right now. They're just not letting Drakes get as much pressure as they did in game one, and they're just able to have a lot better defense than them right now.
Yeah, even though there was a few double commits for Dissolved, some almost resulting in a goal, they were able to block all 5 of the Drake's shots. And just Drake's, they couldn't find a way to break through, really. And none of their opportunities really looked convincing at all, whereas Dissolved, like you mentioned, have been the most consistent team ever since the second half of that game one. And I'm honestly looking for them to maybe even take the next 2 games in the series unless the Drakes can kind of calm down on the offense and just focus on some safe touches to each other to break out of defense, because it just seems like Ray and Dizzy are just going for all these crazy aerial plays and not much is resulting from it.
Yeah, I've seen Drakes just throw themselves to the ball a couple times. It seems like they just jump forward, boost a little bit, and just kind of let go of the controller and just hope for the best.
Yeah, they, once again, kind of second guessing themselves halfway through the challenge, but they'd already committed. Good shot from Ray though, forcing a double commit. Can finding the save though, Dizzy up. But again, another aerial challenge that was missed in the air. That could have been a goal from Dizzy if he found solid contact. Logie getting his corner boost, taking to the dribble, faking out one, looking for a pass to the middle, and it actually ends up working out. I didn't think it was fast enough, but not quite sure where the final Dissolved defender was.
Yeah, Logie gets past one, sends one to the middle, and KN, maybe he was on 0 boost, but wasn't flipping at all. Maybe he expected Slimy to be there, but either way, it's just a free net, and Dizzy able to find a lead for the Drakes early.
Yeah, it did look like he was expecting Slimy to be there, and Can did end up not collecting that corner boost there to help him get back, and kind of a wasteful goal they just gave up to allow Drakes to get some sort of momentum back onto their offensive game after not having scored at all game 3 and most of game 2. But a good save from Logie. Send that one away. Is Dizzy to the side, looking for the follow-up, over 1. Almost over 2 is Slimy, almost own goaling it. Still able to keep the pressure at bay somewhat. There's another big save coming out from Wolf, and it looks like the Drakes are slightly becoming more confident and being a little bit more safe at the same time, but it's hard to tell.
I think they're pretty much playing the same, but it's just working out a little better.
And perhaps Dissolved not being as consistent as they have been the past 2 games. Here's Logie with a good backboard read and a series of small ball defensive plays this time will actually keep this one out. I mean, anything to keep the deficit only at 1, as Can is continuing to harass everybody on the Drakes. And a big shot, but a bigger save from Slimy. And Drakes have found way more shots here in this game. They're already sitting at their total from last game at 5. And Dissolved actually have 5 saves to the 5 shots, so I'm not sure where the other one came from.
I've never seen a series with more single jump 10-mile-per-hour touches. There's just so many.
If it works, it works. Slimy was looking for a pass to the mid, but ended up pinching that one way too far off to the side. Dizzy back mid to Logie. Logie to Ray, who gets a good bounce off the corner and somehow sneaking its way through. Nobody from Drakes was quite expecting that whiff to come out. And a good return from Ray to send it off the backboard. A Slimy and KN double commit for a really relatively easy clear. Wolf shutting this one down in the midfield. And this game 4 is looking like a lot different of a game. This is not a midfield game. This is the Drakes just getting some overwhelming pressure here on Dissolved.
Yeah, definitely the Drakes. Maybe, I don't know which side it is that's, messing up here. Is it if it's Dissolved being worse than they have been in game 2 and 3, and now Ray just able to find another shot.
Yeah, I think it is Dissolved just not looking as solid as they were. Can trying to go up for a hard backboard read, and he couldn't quite find the touch, and even if he did, he may have slotted it in his own net. But it definitely looks like I'm gonna give a partial nod to the Drake's playstyle. It does seem like they're playing better here. As hold on, let's see what Ray Ray can do. He didn't get the flip reset. I'm actually very surprised he didn't get the reset. If he did, surely that would have been a goal. But still almost styling on the Dissolved defenders. But back to your point, it does seem like Dissolved have played not nearly as solid as they have been on defense here in this game 3. SKN, he tried so hard, but ended up putting in his own net.
Yeah, honestly, I don't. Me personally, I change in this Drake's offense. I think Dissolved are just not as consistent as they were in game 2 and 3, and now they're gonna give up this game 4, and the series is gonna be tied up.
Yeah, unless they can pull off some sort of miraculous 3-goal setup here in 1:10, but the way they're looking right now, it looks like this will be an overwhelming victory here for Drakes in game 4. But maybe some sort of momentum on the Dissolved side, getting 1 goal, maybe 2, heading into game 5. So here's a good opportunity from KN. Logie there to send it off his own corner. Slimy off the backboard again. KN looking for a pass back to Slimy, but he's on his way out. Wolf trying to keep it in with a pinch. Ray Ray dunking it out, following it up. And KN with another backboard misread, but still able to send it away. It is Dissolved. Dizzy off the sideball, Logie to the middle. Open net to work with, and they'll find a 4th. And Dissolved are going to have to go back to the drawing board and find some more consistency.
Yeah, Dizzy just has a free touch right there, and Logie with an open net, because Slimy is still back post, and that's just no defense there for Dissolved. They're just not doing anything.
Yeah, and Drake's pulling out a fake kickoff. Not quite ended up capitalizing off of it. As here comes Ray Ray flying in from the side. But hey, you know what? When you're up 4-0, I'm kind of justified in the way they're playing, and they're going to get a 5th off of a pre-flip dunk. But at this point, this goal doesn't even matter.
It happens. I don't even know what happened here. He just touch ball, go goal.
Just sometimes you just got to fling yourself at the ball. But either way, final seconds rolling down as Drakes will find a 6th as the Dissolved defenses continue to be nowhere to be found. And there's really not much to say about this game 4 anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know. Dissolve just all their 2 wins were 1 goal, 2 goal wins, and because of that play style, if their defense is not up to par, then they're not gonna win because the Drakes, they get enough pressure to where if you don't play defense, you're not gonna win the game.
Yeah, and they did get quite a few saves in this game. They got 7 saves, but ultimately the Drakes ended up having 14 shots. And that's just not going to cut it, and Dissolved only sitting at 3. And I think in one of the other games, Dissolved ended up sitting at 3 shots as well. So it seems like the Drakes have been playing the same way for all 4 games, and Dissolved are kind of falling back to that first half of game 1 where they're stuck on defense. They're pretty good at defense, but ultimately at the end of the day, you got to put a shot in to win a game of Rocket League, and they're just stuck back, and they were stuck back that whole game 4.
Yeah.
And I think 5, maybe even all 6 of the goals for Drakes were pretty open nets, not really even outskilled.
Yeah, and Dissolved, they both these games, game 2 and 3 that they won, were both games where the ball was in the midfield the entire time. So I think if they can at least get back to that, to where both teams kind of have not consistent pressure, they seem to be winning those games. So they can at least get back to that and have a chance.
Yeah, and maybe at the higher level in RLCS, you do see kind of specific play styles, but not so much in Nemesis do we see teams playing a certain way. We see a lot of bump-heavy teams and maybe pass-heavy teams, but this is kind of the first time I've seen a team in Nemesis is, hold on a second, Ray Ray almost getting a crazy pass back to Dizzy, but this is kind of the first time I've seen a super defensive-heavy team, and you did mention Game 2 and Game 3, the 2 games in the series where Dissolved found a win. The midfield play was completely just dominated the whole game. And I'm not even quite sure what happened here. Again, the defense not in position.
Yeah, Dizzy just kind of sends a shot on net. Wasn't a particularly good shot. Wolf just kind of is not there. No one's in net. No one's like placing their car in the back of the net. And Wolf has to try to make a save off a subpar shot.
Yeah, I mean, it was with enough pace to put its way past the final defender, but I think Wolf he got caught out looking for that corner boost, and he just couldn't get back in time. But either way, maybe even KN should have been there as well. The shot from the man will force a double commit. Here comes Wolf, looking for a read off the corner, but Ray sending it back to the middle. And Wolf trying to look for some sort of pass back to Slimy. And it's only been a minute, but definitely Dissolved are not taking to the defense this game. They let that first goal in, but it looks like they're playing more aggressive here.
I mean, you have to at least try to play a bit more aggressive because you can't just let Drakes get all this offense.
Yeah, definitely is. Slimy putting another one on, but too weak. He was coming at a bit of an oblong angle, as it definitely seems like the first 2 minutes here are belonging to Dissolved. Here's Wolf getting blocked out and sent away back into this Drake's corner. KN back to the mid, and Loki actually going to whiff this one out. Dizzy, not really any boost. Send this one with a lot of power. And again, this ball stuck here in this blue half. Here's Wolf trying to get his way to the middle, but nobody there. Slimy trying to race in now, getting another good 50. This is going to allow Drakes to get somewhat set up, but here comes Wolf again. He's looking for the bumps, pushes Ray off the ball, but they have all this pressure here, and they might be able to capitalize it off it now, but he puts a slow roller onto net. But I think even if he put that one on with pace, it was getting blocked either way.
It almost actually worked. I think Ray was the only one who was able to touch that because it was so slow, and he was coming in pretty late. But now Dissolved are getting a good amount of pressure, but now Drakes are back on the offensive.
Yeah, and no, that is not what you want to see if you're Dissolved. This was a completely different Dissolved the past 2.5 minutes. They were looking so aggressive on offense, so many pass plays, so many bump attempts, and then the ball gets on their side for 5 seconds and they have a complete breakdown of defense.
Yeah, I don't. They play good. They play really consistent for most of the game, and then.
Ray, what are you doing? It's working though. I'm not gonna question it.
I don't know. Ray, when Dissolved plays the way they want to play with that midfield, Ray doesn't get the stuff he wants to, and when they don't, Ray does.
Yeah, and I almost want to see Dissolved continue to play the way they were. It just looked like the Drake's defense was blocking a lot of good shot opportunities and narrowly avoiding these bumps. Yeah. They weren't able to avoid that one right there. Dangerous the net. Still high off the backboard. Ray almost own goaling, but Dizzy avoiding another bump. And it just seems like Dissolved can't score. It's again in front of the net. Surely it will go in.
Finally Dissolved finds something and are able to make this game a close one again. And hopefully this is not a repeat of what happened in game 1 where they found their way back and ended up losing. So we'll see what Dissolved can do here.
Yeah, they do have a decent amount of time left to work with, and they are completely dominating in the shot department this game, which is not something they've done all series. But I mean, this is just a completely different Dissolved team here in game 5, but once again, the defense, the inconsistent part of their game this time, unlike the rest of the series where they've been solid all through games 1 through 4. But on offense, this is a completely different team. They look so confident. Multiple bump plays coming out. As the unfortunate bounce won't lead to a goal right there. But if they can continue this play style, even if they lose this one, I'm thinking they might be able to come back and take 6 and 7.
Yeah, Dissolved is playing a lot better. They just need to fix up just a couple mistakes on defense, just a couple of Maldfest areas that happened here. But I think we also have to give credit to the Drakes for playing really well on defense here.
Yeah, definitely. They've come up with so many clutch saves, and avoiding a lot of bumps and key situations to keep the lead where it is right now. And 10 seconds here as KN I had a feeling it was gonna happen, and that's really not what you want to see.
KN missed the touch earlier to give Drakes their second goal, and now KN's putting it in the back of his own net. So I don't
I
know.
mean,
It
maybe
happened.
he thought the way the Drakes are playing, they've been playing aggressive all series, that somebody would surely be there for the follow-up, and I don't quite blame him. But with 9 seconds left, you might want to play that one a little bit safer, as Drakes will get the insurance goal they need and ultimately take Game 5. But I think Dissolved got a lot to write home about on
Hmm.
this series. They looked way better here in this Game 5, while they didn't find a individual game win here. I'm pretty confident, like I said earlier, if they can keep up that offensive play and maybe find a few of those bump attempts and get the Drake's players out of the way on defense, they could run away with the rest of the series potentially.
Also, want to note here that Ray had 0 shots and 1 goal.
You know,
But yeah, I mean, Dissolved. They played a lot better this game. They just got to stop making those small mistakes on defense.
yeah, it just when things get when the pressure gets a lot of big when the pressure gets big, they gotta just stay calm and understand where each other are, because it seems like the majority of the time they're expecting one of their teammates to be back, and they're either A, not back, or B, two people are back and they're expecting the other person to go for it. And when it seems like they're on offense, they're coordinated, but on the other side, they can't seem to sync up. And when they do finally get on defense, I mean, an unfortunate touch like that KN own goal and the second goal where it kind of just slow rolled its way in, they got to really avoid those situations.
Yeah, you can tell they're trying to change up the play style by how they played in that last game. So it's a start, but they need to work on that defense.
Yeah, definitely. And starting out hot out of the gates here, here's all three Dissolve players clustered on the ball. And once again, nobody knew who to go for it. And that's going to throw away the possession here for them. They're going to have to work their way back on the opposite half. KN to the middle. But Wolf was too far back. Maybe KN was just looking for a shot instead of the pass. He's looking for another one over to KN. Back down to the middle. Big whiff from Dizzy is going to allow Slimy to get a shot, but too slow to allow that one to be converted on. It's Ray sending it past one. Wolf having to back up the bus to try and find contact here. As Ray's on the backboard for some reason, gets a good pass out to Logie. But Wolf playing interference in the air. Keep this one secured away for now. And a big clear from Slimy. But Ray shutting it off in the midfield. And it's just a series of bounces off this backboard, and nobody from Dissolved is ready. And it seems like more often than not, the Drake's players are the ones that are on the Dissolve backboard.
Yeah, most of the time that's Ray as well, who's just kind of chilling up there, right, like
And
how he
there he
is
is
right
again.
now. And he's trying to find that styly touch down to mid or a shot, which would be insane. But most of the time, it's not going to happen.
Definitely, he's almost got a few highlight reel plays in this season. I mean, we've given him a lot of flack for the way he's been playing, but definitely he is a integral part here
Oh,
for the Drakes. But nothing really he could do there is a big miss from his teammate. Dizzy put him in an unfortunate spot.
yeah, Ray actually had a decent back pass there. I think Dizzy was expecting the touch from KN. KN just kind of whiffed, and it worked out in KN's favor. So now Dissolved are looking to send us to a game 7 here.
And this time they'll be the ones capitalizing off of a big mistake and looking to gain some momentum on the opposite side. But Ray finding a bump, but shot wasn't on target. But I was going to say, we've given Ray a lot of flack for the way he's been playing, but definitely he's been keeping the Drakes in this series more often than not. And unfortunately for him, he just couldn't come up with that save after that miss from Dizzy. But halfway through this game, Ray Ray and company on the Drakes will be looking to tie this one back up. Crazy play or regular play, it's yet to be determined. But Wolf getting hard dunked down opposite side. Slimy dishing it straight back over to Ray Ray, who's going to take to the sky. Instead, he could have just gone for the dribble and perhaps been in the 1v1 situation. And Slimy lands on the ball, finding the save. And this isn't the same Dissolved we saw in Game 5. It looks like they kind of went back to their midfield ways.
Yeah, definitely. Dissolved are now having a lot better of defense. They have some openings, but that's just, that's Challenger. It's going to happen. But now they're playing a lot better defense and just making sure their defense is safe first before they start doing things on offense.
Yeah, this is just such an anomaly where every game Dissolved has won, as Ray Ray up early for this one. Didn't get solid contact, and that allowed Slimy to get in for the save. Here he is again. He's just living on the Dissolved backboard. And again, these small ball touches are not quite enough to get out of the Dissolved half, but it's working for him, Chipmunk.
I love these touches where they get one touch, and then all the players are flailing to find another one.
It's absolute panic here on the Dissolved side, but they're holding on for now, holding on to this 1-0 lead. Dizzy here for the shot,
Dizzy.
and they can't hold on any longer.
Yeah, that's a great touch here by Ray Ray, able to find one more as he lives on their backboard once again, and Dizzy able to find a shot just faster than that defender, and now we have a tie game in this game 6.
Yeah, and Dizzy actually almost got dunked out as...
What?
I'm not sure if that was a fake kickoff or where Ray Ray was going, or if he knew it was his kickoff and he bumps his own teammate off the ball. He's just
now he's getting it.
A good 50, and Loki's gonna score the net. Okay, Ray Ray. What the hell?
Ray doesn't go for kickoff, bumps his teammate, pinches it with the other team, and Loki's able to find a shot, and now they're 46 seconds away from advancing into the lower quarterfinals.
I actually can't believe it. And then now on the opposite, two teammates on the offense. Wait a second, Chipmunk! This cannot be happening! This cannot be happening! Not like this! What is happening? I'm losing it. There's always some strange-ass crap that happens on Forbidden Temple. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, as we're tied up 2-2.
I literally, as soon as they didn't go for that kickoff, I was like, this is going to work. This is going to work. And it worked.
Hold on a second. The net kind of opened. Slimy looking for the backboard read, but got shut down. KN looking to keep this one in the half. Ray Ray and Loki both on the ball. And Ray Ray potentially looking for a bump. But Wolf is going to bail out the last defender. And again, final seconds here belonging to the Drakes. Awkward spot. But Slimy sending it away once again. Ray Ray no boost. Maybe looking for a challenge early on, but Dissolved defense was being patient. Wolf dishing it straight to the middle. Dizzy getting dunked out. And ball still dangerous, loitering in front of the net. Not another 0-second goal for Dissolved, and they will avoid it. And it's going to come down to overtime here.
And if someone faked that kickoff, I was going to throw something.
Was it even a fake, or did people not know? Because I don't think Ray Ray knew, and the Dissolved players bumped each other on the kickoff somehow.
And there's a shot. Oh, there's Slimy. It's an open net.
That's open, and we are going to Game 7, second Game 7 of the night.
Dissolve find their way back into this game off a bump on kickoff, and now they take the game in OT, and we're going to a Game 7.
You know, I said this was an enigma, an anomaly of a series, Chipmunk, but it only gets more strange as we go on. And unfortunately for Ray Ray right there, he was maybe trying to get a hard clear off to the side, but just the way it bounced off his car and ended up getting dished back to the middle for Slimy. But even so, Slimy had a slow approach on that ball, and nobody from Drakes was there to get there for that shot. And this has been a series of bump plays, strange, high-flying plays from the Drakes, nobody going for kickoff, and just a lot of open nets on both sides. So I'm not even sure what to make of it. I said it was going to be close. I said Dissolve might take it, but honestly, Chipmunk, I could eat my shoe. You know what? I'm going to eat this Ritz cracker.
Yeah. Dissolved had 4 shots that game, and they scored 3 of them. I don't know how. I'm sure one of their goals didn't even count as a shot, but oh
And
my
it
god,
happened
oh
again.
my
They
god.
bumped each other on the kickoff again. I'm sorry, but I'm actually eating this Ritz cracker in absolute amazement on Champions Field between these two teams. And I mean, whatever the outcome is of this series, I'm not sure either of these two teams are going to be able to compete with any of the other challenger
Neither
teams
of
the
them
way
deserve it.
these two are
I'm
playing.
I'm telling you that these teams deserve to win this series, but one of them's gonna have to win.
It's entertaining nonetheless. It's a big play, Slimy, looking to charge in, make an opportunity out of nothing. Keeping this one locked in the blue half for now. And a big whiff will actually allow Drakes to get back. Wolf there, getting another clutch save. As Ray trying to just keep this one in the orange half for now, but missing on the follow-up. KN off to the side. Well, that's actually going to be a favorable bounce to the Drakes, but nobody quite there. It works as a pass. Wolf there. But Dizzy all the way back, anticipating the shot. As KN getting blocked out in the midfield. Logie with a big hit, almost finding its way over two. And a series of boomer ball at the moment as KN actually pre-jumped that one, and it works as a little dish off to Slimy. And again, it's looking like early. I was about to say it's looking like a midfield game, but an unfortunate whiff for Dissolved will give the Drakes the lead.
Yeah, Wolf just put it up, and then KN with a Sakarox aerial, just a bad aerial, and whiffs the ball, giving Ray an open net, and now the Drakes have a 1-goal lead, a minute and a half into this game.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it seems like every time the slow midfield game is playing out, Dissolved have found a win, but still got a lot of time left to work with here, and I'm not quite sure, but it definitely seems like every team that scored first has won in the series. Even in the game 1 where the Drakes gave up the lead, and they're going to get it right back.
Yeah, KN just able to find a touch past Dizzy here. Dizzy just not as fast as he was wanting to be, in Wolf able to find it past Logie, and now we have a tie game with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, Dizzy perhaps should have just rotated a little bit deeper and let the Dissolved offender right there just kind of give away possession. He didn't quite need to go for that challenge, but again, a quick turnaround off the kickoff will give Drakes back the lead.
Yeah, Wolf just kind of passes the ball to Drake's player up here, and Dizzy just sends it straight to Ray. You know, it was a good play and a good shot by Ray, but there was just no one back there for Dissolved.
And again, the series of open nets does continue. I mean, that has to be like at least 60, 70% of the goals. I mean, there's been a lot of good shots and a lot of good saves, but somebody has just got to find their way on the defenses. Hold on, they did find a good play, and that's the 3rd or 4th save off the backboard that the Dissolved players have found. And then right after that great save, both of the defenders are creeping out of the net.
I knew exactly what was. Slimy turned for the ball, and then Wolf jumps for it, and KN, expecting Wolf to get a touch, just cheats up the field, and then Ray's just there. Just put it bottom right, and now Drakes are up 2 halfway to this game.
Either way, though, I think the fault kind of falls on KN right there. He should have just been a little bit more passive, but 3 kind of big mistakes giving the Drakes players all the momentum here in Game 7. Still half of the game left to work with as Slimy missing out on this opportunity. Wolf is rotating far back, and Loki actually ended up missing out on that double tap, and surely if he scored that, that would have been wraps for this series. It's a big flick over one. KN trying to race back as Dizzy was looking for the bump.
Where's Wolf going?
And again,
he's gone.
The defense, not there.
KN just sends it out, and he's right to follow this ball, and Wolf is just like, he left the net for no reason, and Ray is able to find a shot after Wolf does miss again.
Yeah, and this is just been the
There's
dissolved
the
all
one in
series.
net.
There's another one, but this time Slimy racing back, and they're not out of this game yet. They gotta keep their heads up. But it seems like time and time again, as Slimy hits it away from his own teammate, they're just not on the same page. And if they're gonna have any hope of coming back in these 2 minutes, they've gotta find some sort of consistency between each other and on defense, because it's just not getting the job done at the moment.
Yeah, Dissolve just like a couple of these games here, like game 4 and 5, they're just breaking down. They can't play defense whatsoever, and the Drakes were able to find. I think all these goals were open nets, and they're about to move on to the lower quarterfinals.
That definitely could be a possibility, as Ray Ray using a lot of boost to not get the best touch, but still able to keep this one locked in this Drake's corner for now. Cannon Wolf, again, confusion. And if they have any hope in this final minute, they're going to have to clean it up with each other, but it just doesn't seem to be happening, as they're just constantly on top of one another. It's Slimy looking for a big clear to relieve this pressure. Can charging in. Good 50, but Logi's up early and will beat out that dissolved player. Ray Ray's pre-jumping. I guess that hasn't changed throughout the
Yeah,
course of this whole
that's not new.
series. Ray Ray continuing to just be
And
a
he's there.
threat on the ball, and he's just there. He was flopping around in the midfield, and one way or another, he's gonna find a goal.
Just like Dissolve, they've changed their playstyle like 4 times this series, and the Drakes have not changed once. They've just jumping at the ball, and for 4 of these games, it's worked.
That is the perfect description of this series. As Ray Ray will actually pass it in front of his own net, and Logi bailing him out. KN almost finding.
He saved it.
He put
He
his
saved it.
controller down. I think it may have been saved. It's hard to tell.
No,
Almost a
yeah,
good
can
shot from
save
KN,
that.
though. But I mean, either way, it really didn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Here's Dizzy. Here's Ray Ray right behind him. And unfortunately for Dissolve, they tried to alter their playstyle so many times. They tried to play that midfield game, but just so many mistakes on their side, leading to the inconsistency. And maybe that's just why these two teams are where they're at the 5-6 matchup. They definitely look like they have potential at times. But, I mean, man, the Drakes, like, this
There's something.
playstyle is that something's gotta change, or something's gotta give heading into the lower quarterfinal,
No,
because
yeah,
I don't think this is gonna work.
I think I said this right before we went to Game 7. Neither of these teams are beating whoever comes out of that upper quarterfinal matchup. It's not happening. You can have fun right now, but in about 5 days you're out.
Yeah, I mean they might be able to. I mean, we were looking at the bracket earlier at that 3-4 spot, and we got Flame going off against Race, and Race losing one of their star players in Kinetic a few weeks back, and now not playing with potentially the MVP of Challenger League. Casey's almost sitting at 90 goals, the absolute carry for Race. He's not going to be there. So Race having to play with their normal sub and having to pick up a really last minute sub. So I think Race are probably going to be heading down to that lower quarterfinal. And I mean, maybe Drake's take that. But they
Now
got
knowing that
Ascension coming
information,
up. They got Ascension coming up. Something's got to give Chubbuck. This is an interesting Drake's team.
yeah, now knowing that information, I might give Drakes an edge. They might have a chance. But either way, if they do find a way to win that series, that's a big if. They're losing to Ascension.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait another few days for that lower quarterfinal, and another week if Drakes find their way in the second semifinal. But I mean, I missed out on the first Game 7 of the night. But I mean, that may have been one of the most entertaining series to watch and cast in quite a while. There was many an open net, many an interesting plays happening. But one way or another, Drakes are going to find the Game 7 victory uh, over Dissolve there. Any final thoughts there, Chipmunk?
What do you want me to say?
Just
What-
Ray Ray. That's all.
He's I was saying this during the series. He's like a bungee jumper. Like he's just jumping around. He's just going up and down. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah. And that'll conclude it for our third matchup of the night. The fourth one will be coming right up after the break, and we got a rival facing off against Gravelords, who went to a Game 5 thrilling match the last time they faced off, and we could very well have another Game 6, Game 7 on our hands after the break, and we'll catch you guys then.